So, starting off with a glass of olive oil. I love to have a glass of wine when I am cooking. So I'm cooking today is a salad. I'm doing a broccoli, kale, avocado, manchego, pickled egg. Sometimes I call it a weirdo salad whenever I add a pickled egg to it, but I love a pickled egg. So it's inspired by a salad that I love to eat at the Jean George at the Waldorf Hotel back in the day when we used to go out to eat. That was one of the only places I used to go. But it's a delicious salad and it's kind of fun. It's kale, it's broccoli, a little bit fall, but it's a bright salad. Has a little bit of mint in it. And one of the things that I love to do when I'm just really wanting some croutons, you know, but I don't have any croutons. So I'm gonna do like a quick crouton right now. And the first step is to, of course, garlic has to be a part of a crouton. This is I guess it's almost like a quick pickle, except I don't add any salt. It's only garlic and I put it in some red wine vinegar to let the garlic soak up the vinegar. You'll see why later. And then I have a little thing that I like about the kale and broccoli. It's all about proportion, excuse me. It's all about proportions. So you don't want like these big, huge pieces of kale. You want like just where all these little veins break apart. And now I like to make food that I can eat, you know, for lunch. These are all kind of like recipes that are like quick recipes for my own sustainability and my sustenance. I make them for friends. If I'm doing this salad for friends, I oftentimes, you know, will just do all the kale, all the broccoli, and then I'll serve them in the bowls separately and then dress them in the bowls. Because it is really about like portion and proportion with the kale and broccoli, because it's it's a balance, right? Because with any kind of anything that you do, or any kind of flavor that you're putting in together, it's all about how much of what is in it. But really it's about how big something is, right? So if I had because I'm doing these like little pieces, and if you can see, I'm kind of like where all the little veins are, I'm just kind of pulling the kale out from those little veins, and the veins are being left behind. So they're super kind of tiny, and I don't know, I think it's kind of fun because it's kind of like breaking open a puzzle. And usually you take a kale and you strip it, you know, and then you like chop it up. This is a very sort of more delicate process, but it really doesn't take too long because you don't need a ton of it when it's a single serving. Because you'll see, this is a pretty hearty salad, even though it's a salad. So this was 2 leaves of kale. I'm gonna do a third, just for shits and giggles. Why not? I am going to pull these guys apart, and you'll see what I'm talking about with proportions, okay? So since these guys are small, on the smaller side, and they don't have the veins in it, you know, some people, they'll strip it, they'll go like that, you know, and they'll just pull it right off the stem, and then you just like cut across, but this is really just pulling it away from all the little veins. There. They're so cute and delicate. Now, the broccoli. I love doing this. I actually do this with anytime I eat broccoli. It's just become a habit of how I eat broccoli. But you know, here's your little trees. Nature's broom. Yes, nature's broom sweeps you out. Fiber, fiber, fiber. We love fiber. I'm gonna take these little trees, and the trick is to cut very closely to the trees and break them off of their little stems. So now, if you break them off, look at how small and cute they are. And look at proportion-wise how they match each other. They're like little friends. Hello, I love you, me too, I love you. They want to get married. Okay, so now they're going to be little friends inside the salad. There's something really gratifying to me about making food with my hands. My hands are my favorite tools. You know, I can put another tool inside my hand, but your hands are just the best tools. So break them all up into these little trees that I've broken and cut off their trunks. And if you wanted to, you could, if you're in more of a hurry, which we are because it's Instagram, so I should hurry up. I just cut them a little bit more, so they're just these little guys. Now, if you go to Jean-Georges at the Waldorf, their salad is very refined. I mean, this is like on point. There's so many beautiful little perfectly broken broccolis inside of it. And the kale is perfectly pulled. Every size of it is like exactly the same size. It's really quite beautiful. This is the rougher, more aggressive version of that, the homegrown version of it, because I ate it at the restaurant and I was like, I need to make that at home. So I just did a little, you know, home edit. And okay, so next is a pickled egg. So I totally cheat with my pickled eggs. What I do is I boil an egg, fully boiled, and then I use, whenever I'm done with like a pepperoncini jar with all the juice left in it, or a pickle jar, I just boil a bunch of eggs and stick it right inside that jar, put it back into the fridge, leave it for a week. You can have it you can eat it the next day. It's just not as flavorful, but I just have them in there and I eat them with everything. It's my dog. A little cleanup crew underneath here. Okay, so pickled egg. It's, you know, no biggie. All I'm doing is cutting it into kind of like a little cubey bits. You know, bite size that kind of match. You got it. The broccoli and kale, because again, it's about proportion. And now when all of these little guys are the same size, they're going to, when you take a bite, you're not going to have one that's bigger than the other. You can actually take a bite with like all of them in it together. Okay. And then I have an avocado. I told you there was a lot in here. There is. It's delicious. It's just delicious. Okay, so again, I have a thing about avocados. I don't do it in my hand. Do it on the side. So here I'm doing it very, like, I'm gonna make a lot of little, very thin slices here, because then I'm gonna hatch it. I'm gonna go back across and make little cubes of the avocado. Again, because of proportion. Okay, so now this is my faux, like fake breadcrumbs. I'm just literally making this be what I want it to be, even though it's nothing like what it should be. But it's something I do often because I get good results most of the time. So what I did is I just cut off the crust of the bread that I toasted. And usually I do this when it's a little bit still warm out of the toaster. It kind of works a little bit better. But I'm cutting them into little squares. Again, yes, proportionate to everything else. Now, it's getting crazy over here. There's a breadcrumbs line everywhere. I'm gonna get one in my eye. I need like safety goggles. Okay. They're just like little cubes. Look how cute they are. And I'm not sure. I know they have a name in the cooking world of what kind of breadcrumb this is. Somebody can tell me. I'm sure somebody will tell me inside my comments. but I'm putting them in with some olive oil. I'm gonna basically make fried bread. Yeah. This is where just a little bit of butter, tiny bit, not a lot. Or you don't have to. If you don't want butter, you don't have to. I'm gonna put it in. It just helps brown them a little bit more. I'm actually gonna turn down this heat. It's too hot. This is actually a little tiny pan. I could have done a bigger pan and it wouldn't have been so hot, but hey, you know, just is what it is. And then I'm going to take the garlic that I have in the olive oil, in the red wine vinegar. This is kind of like a rough chop. I'm gonna put it in. It's just a tiny bit of vinegar. Look at how crispy and delicious those look. Those are fun. That's gonna be fun in there. Now I'm going to do my dressing, which is a super easy mustard, little grainy mustard, a little bit of champagne vinegar. I don't know why I'm doing champagne vinegar right now. I guessed, I forgot what one I've used before. So if you want to use a different vinegar, go ahead. A little bit of olive oil. So I'm just whisking this. I'm sure it needs something like salt or less of something or more something. No, it's not too bad. All right, I'll take that. Okay, so now my dressing made. We're coming to the end, folks. This is the last of it. So I use little tiny baby mint leaves. Let me see, this is, let me see these little leaves. Ah, there they are. So these little soft, delicate on the top of the mint, these little tiny ones, they're so delicate and they're not too rough or tough, and the flavor is delicate, and I just kind of like break them up a little bit, and if they're really small, I just leave them. I kind of just put those in there. Again. Now, oh wait, one more thing. I told you there's a lot of things in here, but they all just taste so good together. Manchego cheese I'm using because it's what I had in my fridge. You could use pecorino, you could use Parmesan, just like a mild or salty kind of soft, medium, hard cheese for some fun. And I'm gonna dress it. And I'm going to put some croutons in there. There we go. And the garlic, because just a little bit. And mix it all together. And we'll see what we come up with, what it's like. Yeah. This is what I love about it. The crunch of the croutons, the crunch of the broccoli with the avocado, creaminess of the avocado, and then like the vinegariness of the pickled egg, and a tiny vinegar of the dressing and the croutons. So good. But I love crunch. That's what I love about salad. It's just crunchy. And with the, also the yolk has that creaminess to it too. Little cheese. And then there's like this bright pop of mint. It just comes out of nowhere because you don't put too much in. It's just like a little thing that's in there, like a little surprise. It's like, hey guys, I'm here, I'm Mint. Nice to meet you. And it's just like a party. And then I have this, which is my go-to with all my meals. This white wine from Olive. You guys know it. It's light, it's crisp, it's clean, it's delicious. They're delicious together.